Alright guys, welcome back. It's October the 23rd, and we're going in here this morning. I've been doing a bunch of scouting in this area, and I'm trying to learn how to hunt these hills instead of being in the bottoms all the time. And I found a bunch of sign yesterday. I went on one ridge, I found about 10 doe beds and a bunch of doe poop and stuff everywhere. A bunch of acorns they've been feeding on. And then I went on the next ridge over and found some buck sign, a bunch of rubs, some buck poop, pretty fresh, looked like from that morning. More acorns. While I dropped down at the bottom, I just kept going, and I come up another little ridge, and that was a little 4-point sitting on top of there eating acorns, headed further away. So I think that's the buck that was making all that sign in there. So went over that hill, went down another bottom, and walked pretty much all the way around the bottom and come up the other side of another hill and found some more buck sign right there. So I'm gonna walk on that third ridge and set up on that buck. I think I heard him walk down the ridge sideways when I come up, so I kind of spooked him just a little bit, but I don't think I heard him, or I don't think I really bumped him too hard. He just kind of walked down. He didn't even run away. So we're gonna go ahead and head on in. Gonna try and figure out these hill spots and these ridges and stuff like that. So we'll catch you whenever we start walking in. Alright guys, so we just seen the first deer of the day. I think it was a doe, but I'm not real sure. I couldn't see it too good, but it just come down where I thought I spooked that buck, or not spooked him, but kind of bumped him a little bit yesterday. Down this big hill and just come walking the side of the hill around. I don't know if he was trying to smell anything on top of this hill before it's going to come up the back side, because the wind's blowing that way and it still didn't smell me, or it at least never blew at me. But hopefully he's going to come up here. Maybe we can get a better look at it. I think it was a doe, but it was by itself, and the color of it was pretty dark, but I didn't see any antlers. I seen the head before I turned the camera on, so I got a little video of it with the big camera, so maybe I can see when I'm editing. But we're sitting in a pretty good spot. This is more deer than I've seen on bottom so far. So we're doing something right, I guess. But we'll catch you whenever something else happens, and hopefully either that deer is gonna come up or another buck is gonna come up this hill and start feeding on these acorns here in a little bit. This is where we're sitting at right here, and we got all them different type of acorn trees right here, over there, one right there, and one right there, and they're dropping like crazy right here. So I'm hoping they'll either come up that way or the back side, or from my right over here. But that's where that doe come from. She come off that hill, coming down into this bottom, and crossed over and walked straight over down in there. And I think she might loop around and come back over here. I'm hoping she does, so, or whatever it is, so I can get a better look at it. But that's where I seen all the buck sign yesterday, on top of that hill right there, and a good bit right there. But there's nothing on this mountain here behind me, so they're in a pretty concentrated area right here. But we're just gonna sit here and hopefully we'll see some deer this morning. Alright guys, it's about 10 o'clock. I haven't seen anything else, but these acorns are just raining down. They have been pretty much all morning. So hopefully something will come in pretty soon. But I was going to talk for a minute about this new change I made. Trying to change up how I hunt. I think I've been hunting in the management area. This will be the 5th year. I guess I've just always hunted the bottoms. Never really thought about hunting the hills. I've seen big deer in the bottoms at times, but I think they're mainly on the hills, and I've pretty much proven that the last couple of days scouting. I've found about 10 times more sign on the hills and ridges and stuff like that, rather than in the bottom. I haven't really found any sign in the bottom, except rubs and scrapes, and I think most of that is nighttime movement. And I put all my cameras are showing nighttime pictures only. There's a couple does in there in the daytime, but I haven't got a mature deer in the bottom all year in any of my spots. So I transitioned to the hills a couple of weeks ago, trying to figure it out, and I haven't put any cameras up or anything, but I've seen a small buck on top during the daylight yesterday. I walked up on him 50 yards away, and there's a ton of doe sign up here, a bunch of bedding, a bunch of buck poop, and found a bunch of rubs. And, I think I found one scrape, so I think most of the scrapes down the bottoms are nighttime, and have a lot of daytime movement up here on the top of the hills. And I mean, I've already seen one deer this morning at 7:30. That's more than I've seen in the last 6 hunts of the year this year in the bottoms. So we're gonna keep on trying to figure it out. And me and Noah's gonna make a scouting video at some point, try and show you how we break down the hills. Try and just keep learning. But anyway, I thought I'd just talk about that for a minute. Why I moved spots, and trying something new. Hopefully something will come in. Hopefully something will come in of these acorns, and maybe it'll be a pretty nice buck and we'll get a shot on it. Just had a doe coming up this hill right here, and I guess my thermals have stopped rising, and I guess they're kind of just staying level now, because she smelled me but I couldn't move. She was about 60 yards away from me, so I couldn't get the camera on her until she turned around, started walking back off down the hill. She didn't blow or anything, but she was standing still, looking in this direction, picking her nose up and smelling for about a minute or so, and then she just turned around and went back down the hill. It was a pretty good sized doe. That's the second deer we've seen in these hills, but the wind was super swirly, like really swirly today. It started off with a southeast this morning, and then about 11 or 12 It's supposed to go all the way to southwest, so it's moving all types of directions today. And this spot might be a little swirly on top of the actual wind, changing a lot of directions today, so I still see her. She just I don't know what she's doing. She's just standing at the bottom of the hill. But I got the big camera on her now. She might just be eating acorns down there. I bet if I grunted at her, I could get her to come up here, but I'm not going to shoot her anyway. So I'll just leave her be. Alright guys, he just walked out of the frame. I don't really see her at the second. Yeah, at least she's sticking around. Maybe she might come up from a different way or something. If we get a good video of her. But there's a decent bit of acorns falling down there too where she's at, but there's a lot more up here in the spot falling. I think that's why she was trying to come up here. Well, she didn't seem too spooked. She probably just got a whiff of me or something. But she's headed in that same direction the other doe went this morning. They both went that way. Well, at least the deer movement's starting to pick up a little bit. Maybe a buck will come, hopefully, at this spot, but hopefully he comes from a different way than that way. Because if he comes from that way, he'll probably smell me too, if that doe smelled me. Well, I guess I'll be hunting some hills for the next season. At least scalp some more and make a couple more sets, and I might just completely transition to hunting hills instead of the bottoms. But she wasn't really in a bottom either. She was kind of coming at an angle. I don't know where exactly she come from, but she didn't come from the bottom. The bottom is to the left of me, and I got a bunch of fingers to the right. So I guess she was probably just bedded on the end of them fingers, and was going to cross this little ditch to come to the top of this hill, feed on these acorns. But we're starting to put the pieces together, so hopefully it works out for us. and grab my binoculars. I was going to look down at that bottom and try and find her. And I started looking, couldn't find nothing. Went back to the spot I last seen her, and she's still standing there. She's just standing in the shade, and you can't see her with the big camera. Guys, it looked like she's turning away, and I walked away, but she was just sitting down there feeding for a while. So she hadn't been too spooked. It's about 11:30, and that doe made his way down, and I guess crossed that ditch again and went up on the other hill. I'm sure there's bedding and all types of stuff on that hill too. I need to go scout that, or at least go look at it. There's probably a bunch of doe beds, but I guess we're gonna get down here in a minute. But it was a good day this morning. Had a good day. The wind wasn't all that good, and it's about the temperature wasn't all that great. I think it was 50 this morning, and it's up to about 80 right now. But we still found where they're moving in the daytime, at least, even when it's bad temperature, not the best wind. Definitely learned a good bit, and we'll keep on trying to learn. But I guess I'm gonna get down and go to the truck, eat me some lunch, and probably scout the rest of the day. But we'll catch you when we get down out of the tree. I guess I'll start packing my stuff up and try and ease out of here. I don't want to bump either one of them does that we've seen today, and if there's anything else around, try and be as quiet as I can. Going back, getting off of this mountain and getting back to the truck. But I guess we'll see when we get down. Alright guys, there's my backpack over there. That's that tree I climbed. And way over here, I was just looking at this spot. There's this acorn tree right here, and there's acorns everywhere and a bunch of shells. The acorns have already been eaten. And then they are everywhere. Then you come right there, and there's some older buck poop a couple days ago. So they've been in here. But there are acorns everywhere. I think we'll get them in a couple days. Especially now that there's way more on the ground.